This is Mahmoud Sukkari, and this is Lesson D in Unit 8 English Zoo. These are the vocabulary that you are going to see in the lesson today. Number one, puppeteer, puppeteer, puppeteer. As you see in the picture, the puppeteer is the person who makes the puppet move. This is the puppeteer. He makes this puppet move by moving the stick in his hand, which has strings, and the strings are guiding the puppet. When he moves his hand, the puppet moves. Puppeteer, puppeteer. It's a puppeteer, not puppeteer. It's a puppeteer, not puppeteer. Okay. Next word. Puppet, 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 puppet. Puppet is a kind of toy or doll that you can make it move by stretching the strings that tied the arms and the legs of the puppet. Puppet. Sticks. Sticks. Sticks are made of wood and they are attached to the arms and the legs of the puppet. When the puppeteer push the stick, arms or legs or head moves according to the part he wants it to move. The, the words are puppeteer, the person who makes the puppet move, and puppet, it's a kind of doll or toy. Sticks are used to make the puppet move. These are these are verbs in present and past. Is, was, create, created, call, called, make, made, do, did, open, opened, study, studied, work, worked. This is a text. As you see in the picture, this man is James Henson. James Henson. James Henson. Jim Henson is a famous puppeteer. James Henson was a famous puppeteer. He created a kind of puppet called a Muppet. A Muppet has a soft face made of cloth. The puppeteer makes it move with his or her hand. He or she makes the arms and legs move with sticks. When he was alive, Jim Henson always did the voice of Kermit the Frog. Students, this text is telling us about the man in the picture. He is a puppeteer or a man who makes the puppet move. He invented these puppet and he called them Muppet. So what are they? They are puppets. What are their names? They are called Muppet. Who called them Muppet? Jim Henson. And who is Jim Henson? The famous puppeteer. He puts his hand inside the body of the Muppet, which has a soft face made of cloth. And with the other hand, with the other hand, he pushes the sticks, which makes the arms of the Muppet move. Uh, Jim Henson himself made the voice with his own voice. He used his own voice to make to do the voice of Kermit the Frog. Now, students, we know that this man is Jim Henson, and these are the Muppets. And Jim Henson invented the Muppets, and he called them the Muppets. What are Muppets? They are puppets. What are Muppets? They are puppets. Who invented them? Jim Henson. Who is Jim Henson? The man in the picture. Okay, we move to the question. Why was Jim Henson famous? Famous or well known? All the people know him. Of course, when he was alive. He is dead now. Look, this is alive. It is an adjective, the opposite of dead. The opposite of dead. It is not live, it's alive. I am alive. He is dead. I am alive. He is dead. Okay. Why was Jim Henson famous? He was a puppeteer. What did he call his puppets? Muppets. He called them Muppets. How does a Muppet move? With the puppeteer's hand. With the puppeteer's hand. Whose voice did Jim Henson do? Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog. Remember that we have three questions in past simple. We have the helping verb was here, and you have did here and there. And we have one question in present simple. We have the helping verb does. Remember that. Okay. Now, these are information about this man. You should listen to them, but we are not having the listening material, so I'm going to read it for you. 1936, was born in Greenville, Mississippi. Greenville, Mississippi. 1954, first job as a television puppeteer. His first job as a television puppeteer, he introduces a program in the television. 1959, married Jane Naples, a fellow puppeteer. He married this woman, that is her name. She is fellow or colleague with him or friend with him in the same job, puppeteer as him. But she was a woman, but he was man. Both of them were puppeteers. 1963, moved to New York City. 1969, invited to make the puppets for Sesame Street. Sesame Street is a famous program which has famous puppets, and they invited him to make the puppets for this show. This show has many series, and it was very famous. 1976, first Muppet show shown on television. That was the first time that people see his show or Muppet show in the television. And it was very famous. And I watched some of these series. It's kind of funny series. 1979, first Muppet movie opened in the US. 1990, died at the age of 54. Okay. This is kind of activity. It is not very important, but it gives you some information about kinds of writing. I put the answer sheet here in front of you. Just read it for you know, enlarging your information. You will not be asked about them in the final exam. Don't worry. Writing that compares looks at how two things are alike and how they are different. Like this boy is tall, but that boy is short. We compare between them. Okay. Writing that explains, gives directions on how to do something. Like first, boil the the eggs. Second, cut the pan. Third, put some ketchup, and so on. Writing, giving you directions or directions that helps you to do something. Okay, writing your story. Tell the true story about your own life. Like when I was young, I met a dog. It ran after me, and I was afraid of the dog. And then I went inside the house and I closed the gate. That is a true story about yourself. This This is another kind of writing, writing a story. Okay, writing a story. Writing a story, use a setting, characters, and a problem that needs to be solved. This kind of writing, but not about yourself, writing about someone else or some people. And it could be a made up story or untrue story or fiction. Okay, writing a report. Writing a report. Okay. In this kind of writing, okay, in this kind of writing, where is it? Yes, here it is. Gives information about a topic and supports it with details. For example, I'm going to write about disease. Uh, some diseases are very dangerous. They have no cure, and some other diseases are not very dangerous, and and you can be cured easily. Writing a letter includes your address, the date, a greeting, the message, and a farewell. When you write a letter, you have to introduce yourself, and you have to write the one who you are writing to, and you have to put the date and the greeting, like how are you, and the message, I want to tell you about my school, for example, and the farewell, see you soon, or I am looking forward to hearing from you soon, whatever. This is kind of activity. We just go quickly about this activity. We will not do it because it is not suitable for our age, and we have only writing sentence under picture in the final exam. So don't worry about that. Investigate and write about an insect or a bird that lives in your area. If you want to do it, it's okay. If you want to leave it, it's okay. Write a funny story about a family picnic that goes wrong. Compare two animals. Mention how they are alike and how they are different. Dogs and wolves, for example. Write a story about a time when you helped someone. The person can be a family member, a friend, or a neighbor. Write instructions for an art project or a recipe. Write a letter to a family member that you do not know. Brainstorm or think on paper. And organize your ideas, put them in order. In a Venn, like a chain. A diagram, a sequence, a chart, or an outline. He means you order them in sequence, like number one, number two, number three, or you make them arrows like this. First, I write about the name. Second, I write about the event, and so on. Write a draft. Draft is the first writing before you check it. Read it to a classmate. Revise and correct your work, spelling, punctuation mark, whatever. Illustrate your work and present it to the class. You finished your work and present it to class to read it. But we will not do this activity. Okay, now we move to the workbook exercise. Here is a text. It's about John Lester, and there are some questions. We are going to read the question and find the answer. Why is John Lester famous? Famous animator. He is an animator. Animator is a person who makes, some kind of cartoon movies that you see on TV. Okay. What was the first long computer-generated animated movie? If you look quickly here, you will find the answer. Uh, okay, it's here. The first long computer animated movie, or a movie that was made by computer, Toy Story. It's the name of the movie. It was in 1995. Why did John Lester win a Special Academy Award? Award is kind of present when you do something special. For his work on Toy Story, you can find it here. In 1996, John Lester won a Special Academy Award for his work on Toy Story. Now, complete the table. In 1957, John Lester was born. In 1979, went to work for Disney Studios, and you can find the answer here. In 1982, worked with computer animation for first time. If you move here, look, when you go to the text, he made the first computer animated movie, Toy Story, in 1995. Then he made Bugs Life. Bugs Life is also a name of a movie. Uh, okay. In 1996, won a Special Academy Award. It's mentioned here. If you go to the text, you will find the answer. In 1996, John Lester won a Special Academy Award. In 12 or 23, worked on Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is a special movie about a fish which got lost and was trying to find its way home. In 25, worked on the Incredibles. Incredibles or special means great or special, and it's the name. It's also another name for a movie. Okay. Here, circle four important facts to write about in your biography. Biography is a kind of writing in which you write about, well, uh, writing about yourself. Actually, you should write about someone else in biography when you write about yourself in autobiography. But our book is considering the biography is writing about yourself, so it's okay. I choose some issues here for you. You could use them to write your clothes and the shoes, your favorite things and hobbies, what you like to eat, your family and friends. It's a kind of activity. If you want to leave it, it's okay. It's not important. But if you want to write it, you could write, for example, I wear uniform in the school. Uh, my favorite hobbies is reading. I like eating albik, for example, or pizza. I have, when you write about your family, you could say, I have one brother or one sister, whatever, depending on you. And it is open answer, as you see. And here's some important dates in your life. You write important dates, and then you take these dates to write a paragraph in the biography. Once again, biography when you write about someone, autobiography when you write about yourself. Okay. 2018, I had a brother. 2017, I traveled to Jeddah. 2019, I was in grade two. 2019, I began swimming. You could say began or started. Both are correct. In 2020 or 2020, I started reading stories. It's open answer. He could change any of them. It's okay. The biography. His name is Hani. He was born in 2011. He had a brother in 2018. He traveled to Jeddah in 2017. He was in grade 2 in 2019. He started swimming in 2019. He started reading the stories in 2020. Thank you, students. This is going to be everything for today. Thank you.